Hey! Welcome to the big show on a Wednesday. Final show of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow I leave for LA, and don't forget, Friday I'll be on the Joe Rogan podcast, and that night the Palace Comedy Club in San Diego. And the following Monday, the Dave Rubin Show. Also, before that Monday, this Sunday, the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club in Ventura, California. I just want to, real quick, guys, all you guys that subscribe on Patreon, listen up. Back in November, Patreon changed the way you can view content. You have to belong to a tier. Our tiers are Fredo for $4.99, Sonny for $9.99, Michael for $15, and Vito for $30. Please check your membership. Make sure it says one of those names under your pledge amount for my show. If you don't belong to a tier, you will not be able to see the shows. I just posted the link on how to do it again today in the post section for you Patreon members. People still complaining, I donated, I can't see the show. You have to belong to a tier. I can't say it a fucking again. Don't make me believe you're as dumb as Democrats. Because I know you're not. I love you. How are you? I gave you the dates in LA this weekend, in the California area, and San Diego. Friday and Saturday, February 8th and 9th, the Black Box, Boca Raton, Florida. Friday, March 8th, Wood Theater, Glens Falls, New York. Saturday, March 9th, Cohoes Hall, Cohoes, New York. I'll be shooting a 1-hour special. Friday, April 26th, Steel Stacks, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Friday, May 34th, Jonathan's at Gunkwit, Maine, a killer gig. Saturday, June 1, Whites of Westport, Westport, Mass. Saturday, August 10th, Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. And Saturday, October 19th, Ridgefield Playhouse in Ridgefield, Connecticut. NickDip.com for all your ticket information. All right. So white kids are the problem. White teenagers, white Catholic high school teenagers, they are the problem. White kids. Well, here's a video that pushes back against that. Wonder how they voted. Look at the girl in there. Oh, girls, women, plural. All right, I think you get the idea. They're just trying to make America great again. Oh, God. Self-hating white people. Fucking, I have clips of Michael Rappaport today with his tweet. Just an ignorant professional wigger his whole life. And it's just, it's fucking sickening.
There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind.
Savannah Guthrie, that chicken lip broad on NBC, interviewed the kid who was smirking and standing his ground against the phony fraud. Have you done any research on this guy, Patton Oswalt? Or Kathy Griffin? Or Michael Rappaport? Or Reza Aslan? Have you done your research? Have you apologized to these kids? No, because it doesn't matter to you, does it? You just want to win. You don't give a shit if you're right or wrong. The sad thing is, white kids, high school kids, probably the most nonviolent kids on the planet, especially in this country. You can make that statement and back it up with, oh, I don't know, I'll call McDonald's and have me send me the last 100 videos that went viral from their place, or Burger King, or White Castle. You know what I'm saying. But the self-white hatred is just hilarious. Savannah Guthrie, Chicken Lips, had the balls to... You think wearing that hat this wouldn't have happened if you weren't wearing that hat? I don't know. You think all the fucking shit that went down in Baltimore and Ferguson would happen if everybody had an Obama T-shirt? You think that... So now it's the clothing and a slogan backing your politician that's the problem? Or him standing his ground? Even just standing there smirking, when I know I, myself, or any other kid at that age, a teenager, would have said, fuck off, you old fucking... By the way, that guy was never in Vietnam. All the research is coming out now. He's a rabble-rouser. We said it yesterday, but it's worse than you think. He said when he came back from Nam, he was spit on and called the baby killer. He never went to Nam. Never went. Went AWOL 4 times. Actually spent some time in the brig. Just an unhappy drunk. And it doesn't matter, though. The perfect storm for you jerk-offs on the left to get behind them, the Michael Rappaports of the world and the Sarah Silvermans and the Judd Apatows, because you're fucking ignorant. You're ignorant as the day is long. And it's all based in cowardice. We know who the problem is in this country. We have a few of them. A few problems. Just absolutely ridiculous. Here's a clip from Tariq Nasheed. Do I have to say any more just from his... this is a video clip. Our buddy yesterday, you know the clip I show with down in Miami, those little black punks are on their bikes blocking traffic. You know, MLK Jr. Day, so they caused civil disobedience. MLK would have been fucking appalled himself. But they started all this shit, and then some white guy who's had enough get out of his car to come to aid to a woman whose foot was run over by one of these punks. And the white man had a gun, Mark Bartlett, I believe his name is. And here's some footage of Mark Bartlett, who I'd vote for as sheriff tomorrow. Here's some other footage of him that Tariq Nasheed found. And according to Tariq, this makes him a white supremacist. Here's the clip. Don't agree with the language, but it is a free country.
Get in front of my car. Get in front of my car. Get in front of my car, you fucking piece of shit.
Same guy.
Come on, get in front of my car.
Same guy. Must be a white supremacist. But once again, who's causing problems? Who's precipitating the fucking confrontation? Who? Yes, that's right, Kathy Griffin. Just sickening. So, you know, did you see the guy, his mugshot yesterday? He was smirking, just like the kid that was facing off against the fake Vietnam vet. But you're not going to see that on mainstream news. You're not going to see it anywhere. He looks really upset because he knows he's in the right, even with the foul language. But I believe in free speech. And I believe when you're in a verbal confrontation, like I said yesterday, you'll say whatever you think is going to hurt that person the most. And that really doesn't bother young black kids because they've kept the word alive, whether it's hip hop or it's what they call it. For Christ's sake, I say it to my buddies on the phone when they call in a friendly way. What's up, my nigga? What's up? My grandparents were using it before they died. But that's Tariq Nasheed's idea of a white supremacist. He doesn't, you know, call attention to the... But Mark Bartlett, this is for you, pal. Put his mugshot up there again, could you? Didn't know a sheriff in town named Mark Bartlett. He has had enough. He's only giving you previews of what's coming, folks, if the left keeps up their fucking nonsense. 833-599-NICK. 833-599-6425. The phone number. Let's go to the phones. Kevin in Chicago. Kev, what's up?
What's up, Nick? Man, this big media storm is a big eye-opener, huh?
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, so you're going on Joe Rogan Experience next week?
I'm going on this 2 days, Friday morning.
Oh, Friday morning, okay.
Yeah.
Man, you got to talk to Joe Rogan, man. He's been a big supporter of open borders. He thinks the wall is racist, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I keep hearing him. I'm a big fan of Joe.
Yeah.
But every time he talks about the wall, he always gets it wrong.
Well,
And I just like to say him. He lives in the gated community, man. Like, he doesn't have to face this problem as someone like me who's doesn't have the kind of money he does. He doesn't have to face those kind of problems that illegal immigration brings.
right.
That was my first point. But my second point is the self-hating white wussies.
Yeah.
The three people you named right there were all Jewish.
Can you ever change your tune? Ever change your tune? First of all, Jewish is a religion. It's not a race. And I'll defend Israel to the end. Kev, I took your call anyways. I thought you might be smart enough to not go down that road again. So we just disagree on that situation. But I can name 17,000 other self-hating whites that aren't Jewish, okay? And again, Jewish is a religion, not a race. So you sound a little dumb. Let's go to Dre in Jersey. He says his family's a bunch of liberal cocksuckers, wants to stay on point. That's enough to be on point. Dre, what's up, man? What's the matter with this family of yours? Do I have to talk to them? Dre? Dre, you be there, Dre? Dre. All right, Dre. I gave you ample opportunity. Let's go to Gershon in Los Angeles. Gerson, what's up?
What's up, Nick? It's thank you for getting my name somewhat right. It's okay. My parents can't even pronounce my name. So. Just calling again, and this is my second time calling, and again, I'm a big fan, and I'm just here in Los Angeles, which I grew up in. I fucking can't stand it.
I
can't stand living here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm your favorite conservative atheist married to a Chinese woman from New York. So go put that in your pipe and try to digest it.
Right.
Holy
so
shit!
What,
I trigger everyone. I go ahead.
What do you want? It says you want to talk about the guy pulling the gun, Bartlett. What do you think of him?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Bartlett. Not Bartlett. I saw. Actually, I made a mistake. The video of the MAGA wearing students, the Catholic.
Oh yes.
Students.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. And it's funny how they just jump at the liberal media just jumps on anything and gets it wrong. They don't give a shit if there's any facts, any evidence, anything. They just go. And I did want to touch on this. The black, those, what are those Israelites, whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah, black Israelites.
They're always in that. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like an oxymoron to me. It doesn't even make any sense. But they're always in downtown LA yelling at people. And I actually was down there one time a few months ago, and not the same ones. Obviously, it's I guess they're in every city, everywhere.
Yeah, they're like Burger King. They have a franchise.
Fucking like Starbucks. They're just shitting out, fucking, hateful coffee everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were just yelling shit to anybody. And they saw me and I'm Hispanic, so they just assumed, they didn't know what to think of me when I walked by. And I was reading some of their pamphlets and whatever bullshit, and as the second I showed any resistance to their bullshit or anything and asked questions, they're just like, man, get the fuck out of here. And they started getting all ghetto, and you know how fucking violent some of them get. Not all of them. I'm just gonna,
No, I know.
And of course so it's and of course I recorded them, but nobody gives a shit. It doesn't matter. As soon as I try to send it to any type of organization, liberal media or any type of news, they won't give a shit. But if it was white MAGA wearing, white dude standing in the corner, just saying facts, throwing facts out, they would be all over it. All these racists. Yeah. Anyways, I'm venting. I'm just angry. I'm stuck in traffic here. Fucking.
I'll be stuck in it. Thank you, Gerson. Thank you for the call. I'll be stuck in it on Friday when I try to go from L.A. to a gig that starts at 7:30 in San Diego, which involves the 405 and then the 5. I lived out there for 5 years. I know. But as far as the yes, and the black Israelites are nothing new to New Yorkers. They're in Times Square. I don't know if they're still there. My second year here, they were already standing literally on boxes, spitting and cursing, and I would give them the finger, and they'd fucking call me cracker, and Fucking. And they're hateful people. They're everything that the mainstream media, the Savannah Guthries, the NBCs, portray young white kids to be. That's what they are. They're filled with fucking hate. They hate themselves more than anything. Just lost souls. What has to happen to you as a human being where you dedicate most of your lives to standing in the cold on a fucking soapbox, literally with a blowhorn, yelling out just fucking racial epithets and all kinds of horse shit that, like Garrison just said, if a white group did it, you wouldn't have to use language 1/10 that strong. You'd be in deep shit, and NBC would surround you in Times Square and the rest of them. It really is sad what the media has done. When you watch this stuff, that's what you have to keep asking yourselves. How did these fucking idiots get to this point where they're such self-hating, white, self-loathing pieces of liberal garbage? It was a long process, and their education and all the garbage that they ingest from Hollywood, from the news, it's all coming to fruition, and it's really interesting times. And I'd hate to think, like I said, if Trump didn't get elected, where the fuck would it be with the thick ankle dog face? Let's go to Tim, line 1. Tim, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Hi, my name is Tim from Forgot Millennials. I wanted to give you a call quick. I'm a big fan of the show, New York native. Now living in Virginia, I escaped the madness.
Yes.
So I wanted to add on, you were going on Joe Rogan. I heard you were going on Joe Rogan in 2 days.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I had the top comment twice already on Joe Rogan's, Barry Weiss podcast. They've deleted it twice, and I put it back up, and now I've gotten over 200 likes in about 2 hours.
Well, what was the comment?
What do you think about that?
Well, what's the comment? Why did he delete it?
Basically just listing, her inconsistencies, what's going on, like, calling to abolish the Second Amendment, calling for all these things. Let me quickly read it for you.
Real quick.
For your audience. Sorry, I'm not prepared for this.
Well, real quick.
Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said real quick. I have a bunch of calls lined up.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
So basically I said that, my comment was deleted how many times. I have evidence, screenshots. Basically, she's calling for...
Who's she?
Taking away the Second Amendment.
Who's
calling for...
Who is she? Tim.
Barry Weiss, from the New York Times, an editor from the New York Times.
And it's a woman.
Who he had on her show, on his show.
All right.
And I wanted to, kind of bring that to light before you went on there if you wanted to bring it up. I'm not sure why they're doctoring comments or dislikes or any of that, but we're seeing a lot of that internet censorship that's going on, stopping dislikes, stopping likes.
Right.
Even from major companies and such. What's your take on that?
Thank you for the call, Tim. Oh, when you say major companies, if you're talking about tech, if you're talking about big tech companies, it's no surprise. We know who runs them. We know that all the money, I said this yesterday, all the money is in Silicon Valley now. These companies, tech companies, have all the dough, so the politicians are beholden to them and vice versa. It's the same old fucking story. And if you have a right-wing point of view, and if you're going to be out there with your pro-Second Amendment points of view, I don't know. I found Joe to be pretty fair politically, but I know that he's been in Hollywood for a long time, and that shit's going to seep in. But he's well read, and I don't know exactly what your comments were, or his show is so fucking big. He has huge advertisers who might have a problem with right wing shit. So Joe buys companies that advertise on his show. It's so powerful. But he's always been, to me, he's always fair-minded. We probably won't agree at everything. But all I know is if you stay in Hollywood long enough, surrounded by those idiots, it's contagious sometimes. But I have, from when I watch Joe, I don't see that. I see he has his points of view and he backs them up. But whatever. I'm not going out there to get into a heavy political discussion. We're comics and we have so much to talk about, whether it's Louis, me getting punched in the face, which, will be hard for him to. He told me to leg whip the broad that did it. No, he said he would have leg whipped her, which was still the funniest comment ever. Anyways. All right. 833-599-6425. Michael Rappaport, a professional wigger, always has been. He wanted me on his podcast a few years ago or whatever. And, he does good work, but I can't stand his politics. And he put out a hateful thing about the Catholic high school kids from Kentucky. Here's his clip on Twitter.
You see the video of these Catholic school teenage fuckboys, hand jobs, harassing, getting in the face.
No, I saw it the other way,
of
dummy.
these Native American people. Check this out.
Native American people. Yeah, they're really getting in that guy's face, aren't they? Oh my God, you see what you want to see. All right.
You little shit stain. You got no fucking life. Go play some video games. Go try to bird dog some chicks, you fucking little creeps. Shorty shit stain. Hand job.
Ooh, edgy.
Fuck boy. Huh? Where's these people's parents? You little fucking scumbag. MAGA hat wearing shit stain.
Oh!
This is what you do for fun. You're 16,
Yankee
17
hat
years
wearing
old.
thug.
And that's fun to you? That's what your life is?
Michael, where's your parents?
You fucking loser.
Where's your parents?
You little Kentucky Catholic school cocksuckers.
Wow. Where's your fucking parents that you wanted to grow up black? Don't know who the fuck you are.
You smug cocksucker. Fuck you.
But could I grab this microphone and I'd beat your brains out with it because that's what she deserves. That's what she deserves.
What another LA liberal fucking dope. Ooh, that's edgy. Going after white Catholic high school boys. That's some fucking real edge, Michael. Always plays the role of the fucking wigger and fucking. I wonder if you've apologized, since it turned out it wasn't the little white fucking cucks that started the whole shit. Have you gone after the black Israelites? Have you put out a tweet? Those hateful fuck stains, those fucking animals. Did you tweet them? Did any of you apologize that jumped the gun? You just revealed yourselves. This thing was a blessing in disguise in Kentucky because it shows who the real problem is. Every fucking clip I show today, I can't help it. And they all have a common thread, but to go after a Catholic high school white boy that just stood there, didn't even. How about this? They outnumbered. Savannah Guthrie said, "Well, you outnumber them by like 5-1," and yet not one of them dropped the N-bomb. Not one of them. Just disproving all your fucking theories. And this is a Catholic high school. They're supposed to be the worst of the worst. These white privileged ones didn't fucking do a thing. Didn't throw a punch. Didn't drop a fucking N-bomb. How do you explain that? What if it was all? What if all those white kids were black and they were facing off against an older white guy? You think you could say the same? No, you couldn't. And if you disagree with me, you're just being intellectually dishonest. Fucking admit it. I love it. It revealed everything about the celebrities, the lib celebrities, about the mainstream media. No issue. No issue more than race is there a bigger gap the way it's talked about in private as opposed to public. The New York Post, like I said, that's supposedly a right-wing rag here in New York City. They have clips every day of white people supposedly saying or doing racist shit. And once again, you don't know what happened that precipitated the incidents, you know? But we did hear because there was footage that was 2 hours long showing the black Israelites were the real fucking... the real problem who started all this. And these kids have had death threats and just sickening. The left is just, they're fascist, they're fucking hateful, they're angry, they're racist, they're bigots, they're everything that they accuse people like you and I of being. Makes me fucking sick. Austin and Chicago, Michael Rappaport, and a 2-hour conversation he had with him a few days ago. Austin, how are you?
Hey, I would just like to apologize for the comments I just said in the YouTube section. I was critical of the Twinks because usually they say when he says your name, you're going to be on the air, but this time they said if he says your name. Whatever, that's not the point. So Michael Rappaport, not a huge fan of him either. I actually talked to him a couple of days ago, and he...
Oh, for the love of fuck. Stick cell phones up your ass. Here's the phone everybody should still be using. Get out of the way. Everybody, all right? Go out and get one of these tomorrow. Every single one of yous. See this? Never have I dropped a call on this, ever. I know it looks like it should be on the desk of Dick Van Dyke or Ward Cleaver. But God damn it, some things don't need to be changed. He said he talked to Michael Rappaport for 2 hours. What are they? Was he a neighbor or something? Michael probably has a show or whatever, but I don't hate the guy. But I always hated how he acted like a fucking wigger in every role he played. And I don't know if he grew up in New York or not. I don't know where he got so tainted. But I know Hollywood fucking finished him off. Should we try Dre again?
Yeah.
Let's try Dre. His family's a bunch of liberal cocksuckers. I don't know if I want to take this call. Their language offends me. Dre, what's going on?
Nick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Do I sound clear?
Go. I got a bunch of calls, Dre. Get to the point, please. Thank you.
Do I sound clear? Okay, all right. First of all, your hate speech podcast really offends me. And no, I'm just kidding, man. I've been wanting to call for a while. It's just my whole family is just like my father. I'm just telling him, I'm a Puerto Rican guy. I'm explaining to him, Dad, no, the Democrats keep the black family down by incentivizing single parent households and all this stuff. And he's just it's like he grabs his ears and starts shaking in the fetal position when I start saying this shit. I'm like, Dad, it's not teams, man. This is not sports, dude. This is real life shit. Right. And and he just holds on so tightly to the fact that they're the good guys. They're the ones that, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I think it's. I'm trying to explain to him. I'm like, it's the people who try to keep their families together that are the ones keeping this country good, man. It's not the people who are obsessed with killing babies, and there's just everything wrong with the left, man.
I agree.
I don't know. The guys.
Well, you know what, Dre? Here's the perfect solution. Thank you for the call, by the way. Have them sign up for this show. Get a nice dose of me 4 times a week, and they'll wake the fuck up. Because this is the only place you're going to get it. This and podcasts with guys like me, the Owen Benjamins of the world, or whether it's Comia or whoever. It's the only place you're going to get your dad's not going to get it from mainstream media. Fucking, he's just, the mainstream media's preaching to the choir with that horse shit. Can you imagine if white kids were 1/8 as punky as the fucking inner city shit and as ignorant as everybody says they are? Like Dre said, most people that vote Republican just want to go to work. They have families. They take care of kids. You don't see them unless they're at a pro-life rally. And by the way, they pick up all their trash when they're done. I'm so tired of it. It's go time. Can we get it? Can we drop the gloves? Let's have a civil fucking war. We have all the guns. Maybe not in the inner cities, but I gotta believe. I can see buses from Alabama coming up with fucking rednecks to New York City and being met at the fucking bridge. I'm picturing this. I wish I could write the movie. Anyways, disappointed in Michael Rappaport, but, let it fucking go, Mama Luke. I'll take one or 2 more calls on this, and I got some other stories of the left losing this shit. I have a story where the California State Senate bans the use of the words he and she during hearings. California. Let's go to Zach in Dallas, where I had the best show of my life there a few months ago, and I want to go back. Zach, you said Ian Coulter weighed in on this, obviously, this
yes.
thing.
Hey, Nick, I was at that show.
Oh, great.
In Dallas.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, I was with that little Asian girl. She came up and bitched at you after. She was like, "You shouldn't say that mean shit about women." But she's dumb, so don't listen to her. But I think it was Ann Coulter that said this. I don't remember exactly who it was, but somebody said that these kids are the perfect representative of Trump. It's like white people now, when somebody of a minority says something, even if you're in the wrong, you have to kowtow to them. And that kid wasn't in the wrong in what he was doing. And him wearing the MAGA hat and that guy coming up to him and him not even doing anything, but just the act of standing his ground and not bowing down is like the perfect representative for Trump.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is. He's just not bowing down to these people.
Well, it's a valid point by Coulter, who is very sharp. I like her. I've had her on my radio show a few times. No, you're right, Zach. These kids might have not. When Trump came along, these kids, if Trump didn't come along, they might not have done this and stood. They didn't do anything is the point. They acted like mature adults. It was the adults in the goddamn.
But it's insane for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, it's insane for a white person not to just, have to be in the wrong even if they didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, it shows what a mindfuck the media has. Again, it's the television that's the poison. The left has been preaching this shit. You're a racist and a bigot for 40 years on television, and they found that it worked, and it was a real hook for them. And you never did see any white people standing up until Trump, took office. And that doesn't mean they're racist. Thank you for the call, Zach. I mean, that's the world we live in now, where you stand your ground and you're considered a white supremacist. She's asking me, you had the MAGA hat on, like it was a fucking sheet, like a Klansman sheet. I mean, just sickening. And those kids, thank God they go to a Catholic high school. That's the only place left where they're not quite being brainwashed. Although I say that, and I think of Notre Dame yesterday covering up Christopher Columbus murals because, 3 Native American students had a problem with it. It's been fine for 100 years. They had to cover that, and the Covington High School, the administration, they jumped like the rest of the fucking idiots on the left. They jumped on these kids instead of having their backs. That's how deep and insidious this fucking left-wing propaganda is. And they have the whole mainstream media. And that's what it is. They're a propaganda arm for the Democrat Party. Oh, by the way, Nancy thick fucking nipples Pelosi canceled the State of the Union address. She's overplaying her fucking hand. This is fun. And I said it yesterday. You really think she's going to outsmart Trump in a deal? I don't give a shit if she's on her home turf, which is D.C., where she's been forever. She canceled the state. Trump should just have a rally tomorrow night. Why doesn't he just call an arena in St. Louis and then he can give the whole speech? You can't stop him from having a rally. There's a million ways around it, right? Have a fucking rally. Have a rally. I was going to say go on a late night talk show, but who would that be? The Nick DiPaolo show. I want to get Trump in here. I mean, if fucking Marin could get Obama to come to his house, Trump has a golf course 3 feet from me. And whatever, everybody lives up here. George Soros, fucking Hillary. What am I doing here? I can't even afford this shit. I'm selling coke. I got this connection with Henry Hill in Pittsburgh, but that's drying up.
I'll read a super chat.
Go ahead, super chat.
Mike Rossi says, Mr. Rappaport is a race-baiting shitbag, but I respect his right to be able to say it.
Of course. Nobody's saying he can't say it. I agree with that. But he doesn't have that same respect for people like myself. Therein lies the rub, Mike. But of course, I'm for all this shit. If it was up to me, I'd fucking, N-words would be flying, C-words, D's, J's. It's the beauty of our country. But one party gets that and one doesn't. You say it at your own fucking risk. I want to go to Mark in Tyson Corner, Virginia. White guy married to a black girl. People come up to him when he's out with his wife in public. People assume he hates Trump. But when he's alone, people assume he's a Trump supporter. That's very interesting. Is that right, Mark? That's an interesting dynamic there.
Nick, you're a hero of mine, man. You're a hero of mine, and I'm just grateful to get the time with you. I just want to tell you, the left looks at us as voting demographics. They look at us by race, by gender, by class.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how they look at us. They separate us by that.
Yeah.
We look at it by content of character. I don't give a shit what you are. So I look like a Trump supporter. I got a beard. I don't give a fuck. And I married a black girl, a black lady, and great wholesome girl. Nick, I'm above my pay grade. But
I believe it.
I notice every time I'm with her in public, at airports, people come up. They just want to start talking about Colin Kaepernick. Like, I share the same opinion. They want to talk about how Trump's a racist. Anytime I'm at an airport, Nick, I'm at a train station, some loony lefty comes up and they want to talk politics, assuming what? That we're both left.
Are they white?
Because I'm with a black girl. I'm not a cuck.
I bet it's
They're always white.
white
Nick.
people, of course.
They're always white.
Of course.
Yes. Yes, Nick.
Yeah.
Of course, Nick.
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's obvious which side is wrong here. I just can't believe it.
I can't believe
It's
how
just
often they're
ridiculous.
wrong. That's a great call, Mark. Thank you so much. Seriously, that was
Thank you, buddy.
very
Thank
interesting. We'll call back. Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic. They just assume that you've ingested the poison, you've drank the fucking Kool-Aid, especially at airports where CNN's blaring in the background right until you get on the plane. If you're taking a Delta flight, they're telling you, Wolf Blitzer's telling you how racist you are. And but this was a blessing in disguise, this whole Kentucky high school black Israelite thing. It really shows who the scumbags are. It exposed them, it exposed the media, and it exposed how white high school Catholic kids aren't the problem. They haven't been for a long time. I used to, every time I watched movies, I was complaining about this in the 80s, the bully was always a white kid in a leather jacket. And look into bullying statistics in high schools, especially in cities, and see who's fucking doing it. California State Senate bans the use, this one cracked me the fuck up, bans the use of the words he and she during hearings, and then breaks its own rule. Spiked online editor Brendan O'Neill reacted to the California State Senate banning the words he and she during hearings and said it's an example of political correctness run amok. They now, he says, and he put it beautifully, they now want to control not just hateful language, and they always decide what's hateful. If you disagree with them politically, they consider that hate. And racist language, which we all agree is a bad thing. But everyday speech, that's what they're starting to ban. He and she, the words that people use all the time in everyday conversation to describe men and women, they want to dig down so far into how we speak and ultimately into how we think that they are willing to ban the most common words in the English language, which is totally right.
You are correct, sir.
Democrat Senate Judiciary Chair, her name is Hannah Beth Jackson, spoke about the change on Thursday and said it's a matter of gender. She says, we are now a state recognizing the non-binary designation as gender, Jackson said. By the way, you can see why she agrees with this when you take a look at her. We are using the phrase they and replacing other designations so that it's a gender-neutral designation of they. Basically, that's the primary reforms and revisions to the committee rule. California's lost its shit. Jackson was a victim of her own rules, however, when here's the video of her.
In the spirit of gender neutrality for the
How you
rules
doing,
of this
Dave?
committee, it now designates the chair as they.
Excuse me, sir?
So the world is a different place. My grammar teacher's long gone,
Gingrich
and
wants
I
his
won't
hair
be
back.
hearing from her. And if any of you... From them, exactly. From they.
Yeah. Okay. This is a meeting to change, and they can't even get it right out of the meeting. She referred to her old grammar school teacher, saying she would be appalled at this, and referred to her as her. But it's now they. Isn't they plural? This is what I don't get. Isn't they plural? Okay, just say a bunch of dumb cunts. I mean, they. What the fuck? They're setting the bar. It's so fuck. This is what you want? You want this in the White House. I'm almost hoping the Dems win in 2020. Because this society is going to unravel so quick, I am going to laugh my fucking ass off. They, said the woman with the fucking new Gingrich haircut. And fucking... Jeff in Cincinnati. Right now, he's got breaking news from Cincinnati. Jeff, what is that breaking news, sir?
Right now, I'm watching it on TV. There are explosive devices, is what they believe they are, have been delivered to the Covington, Kentucky Archdiocese. How's that for tolerant, Nick?
Well, here's the thing, Jeff, and this is how I look at it. And when I hear something like this, my first instinct is, okay, it might be somebody from the left, but we're such charged times politically. Could it be somebody from the right making it look like the left? You know how when black people hang nooses on their doorknobs and key their own cars and then blame?
Right.
So I look at it. I need to know all the facts, but I tend to believe, this is. I mean, if this is true, Jeff, I mean, how far are we away from a civil war? That's the question. Or is it already started?
You're not very far.
Apparently not.
You're not very far.
That's interesting. You saw that on the local news?
Oh, it's live breaking news on the local Fox channel right here in Cincinnati right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? I appreciate you giving us an update, and thanks for the call. Again, I hold judgment because you don't know. In these politically charged times, it could be a righty making the left look crazy, or it could be a legitimate, for what? For a kid staring at a fucking old Indian who's the liar and a rabble rouser. And the media is pouring gas on this, and they have been itching. People always said to me, well, they put a lot of racial stuff out there because it sells papers and ratings. That's bullshit. It's bigger than that. They want us divided. The Dems have mastered identity politics. It's what they deal in. It's what they've perfected. And they're the ones who divide us. So I'm sure Trump's trying to divide us by lowering unemployment in the black and brown communities to record lows and women. And he's trying to divide us by doing, please. He's the one that finally fucking stood up. And anyways, keep an eye on that, fellas. The fucking breaking, it would be funny if it turned out to be Shep Smith called in a bomb scare from a bathhouse. Want to change it up a little? Want to lighten it up a little bit? We can. James Gandolfini's son, Michael, to play young Tony Soprano in prequel movie. I cannot wait for this. I cannot fucking wait for this shit. Imagine that. I guess he's acted. He's been on Law and Order and shit, and but he's gonna play. Imagine that. He's gonna play a young Tony Soprano. This is gonna be great.
You gotta grow up. You're not a kid anymore.
It's a profound honor to continue my dad's legacy while stepping into the shoes of a young Tony Soprano, Michael Gandolfini said to a statement to Deadline. I'm thrilled that I'm going to have the opportunity to work with David Chase and the incredible company of talent he has assembled for the many saints of Newark. Michael has gotten to show off his acting chops before, appearing in episodes of The Deuce and Law and Order True Crime. But this will be the first time he stars in a leading role. Jesus, I hope he can handle it. Those are big shoes to fill. According to Deadline, Chase and his team put Michael, Gandolfini's only son, through an extensive audition process before eventually deciding he was their Tony Soprano. I wonder how extensive. He went up against a transgender woman from China and a Puerto Rican kid with one leg from the Bronx. The script for Many Saints, starring Drew Brees and Gilligan Dip. The script for Many Saints, which will be a feature film, was penned by Chase and longtime Sopranos writer Lawrence Connor, both of whom are producing. Alan Taylor, a longtime HBO collaborator who helmed episodes of The Sopranos and Game of Thrones, will be directing. I cannot fucking wait. The movie also will star Alessandro Nivola, Vera Farmiga, John Bernthal, Billy Magnuson, and Corey Stoll. It will reportedly be set during the era of the 60s, the Newark riots. There he is. I can see. Oh, I can. Yes, I mean, come on. You have to pick this kid. I hope he can friggin' act. He's much better looking. I hope they have him like put on a few pounds as he But guys, I can't help it. The Sopranos is my favorite thing in the history of show business, and I cannot fucking wait for this. And you know who else I think, let's put up, Paulie Walnuts has to fucking, there he is. There's a young Tony that could be fucking me. That was me in high school. Kiss my own biceps, because nobody else would. That's Tony Sirico. That's Paulie Walnuts when he was a young guy. Gotta fucking love this. I cannot wait for this. But Michael Gandolfini, David Chase is just a master. Anyhow, it's gonna be awesome. Let's go to is it Carrie in Massachusetts? Carrie, what's going on?
Yes.
How are you?
Hey, I was just Good. How are you, Nick?
Good, thank you.
I was just calling in response to that guy. I've been hearing people constantly complaining about, like, guests on Rogan's show.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts. He's just a guy having a conversation. He has
Right.
all kinds of people on there.
Yes, he does.
And he lets the public be a fly on the wall into a conversation between whoever he's talking with.
Yes.
And if people don't like the content, like, and they can only watch, like, people they agree with,
Right.
maybe they shouldn't watch Rogan.
That's right. That's exactly right, Carrie. And always been fair. The show's always been fair, and it's so powerful. I mean, it's more powerful than most TV shows out there, the amount of downloads he gets. And I've been on it a few times, and I've watched a lot of it. And like you just said, it's just a conversation, and he's well prepared. And yeah, you know, if you want to,
And he lets the public be a part of it. It's like somebody sitting around having a conversation. You get to tune in if you want to. If you don't like what they're saying, don't freaking watch it.
Carrie, let me hear you say that again. He lets the public what?
He lets the public in on, like, a conversation.
No,
like you're a fly on the wall.
No, say it the way you said it the first time.
Oh, freaking what?
You said he lets the
I
public.
don't know what you're saying.
He said he lets the public be a part of it.
Yeah, he lets the public be a part of it. And if you can't watch someone you don't 100% agree with as a guest, then don't. You know what I mean? Don't watch.
That's exactly right.
Like, everyone's complaining about his guest, and did you hear what his guest said? Oh my God, they get their panties in a bunch over nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. And thank you for the call, Carrie. It was thanks for being a part of the show. I appreciate it. God bless it. I love Massachusetts broads with their friggin' and part of it. Fucking Noma went 0 for 4. But she's absolutely right. Rogan's as fair as any fucking show. And people, she says everybody complains, but you know who complains? Social media jerk-offs, because they grew up in a world where everything has to be catered to them. And they don't deserve a voice, most of the people on Twitter. It's fucking, that's what I learned from this whole tech boom from social media, is not everybody deserves a voice. And I hate to say that, but I never realized how retarded fucking people are. And but yeah, fucking Rogan's show is great, and the fucking numbers speak for themselves. And he's funny, and he's a guy's guy, and I fucking been a fan for a long time. Anyways, and I think I started a few years before him. So Quincy, Mass. People are too smart for their own good, says Pat and Quincy. Pat, what's going on?
Hi, Nick. Great to talk to you.
Thank
so
you.
Here's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Basically, it's like this. All right. We need some basic people in the government right now. People talk about how like people. Okay, there's the elitists. They're all too smart, and they're like, oh, this dumb guy Trump doesn't understand anything about politics. It's like
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about the guy.
Right.
Is he's basic. And right now we have a basic situation, which is, do you think the opioid epidemic is a problem? Yes. Do you think that, human trafficking is bad? Yes. Well, guess what? Build a fucking wall and you solve a lot of those problems. It's simple. But these fucking people who are all like at the colleges, universities, they're all like the heads up their ass with like, oh, well, actually, illegal immigration actually contributes to the economy, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, shut up. No, it fucking doesn't.
No,
like,
you are, Pat. You are so spot on because look, it's a government for and by the people and whatever, and he is one of us. And as far as common sense goes, the left, they really look at. Just the he, they try to, in California, get rid of the word he and she, and we had the whole bathroom controversy.
Yep.
Something as basic as biology, a pussy and a dick, where they should go to the bath, that they confuse that issue. Because that's their smokescreen. They talk like fucking lawyers. They're not that bright. Obama was the most fucking average. He gave a good speech, but fucking there was nothing sterling about the words in the speech. He had a great cadence and a great smile. But they are so you are so spot on that it's common sense, and he is a simple guy, Trump, and social media has proved most people are very simple out there. So. I agree. He's the right guy at the right time.
We need more basic shit. We need more basic, plain, simple politics, and that's what he's doing. God bless him.
That's exactly right. Good call, Pat. Exactly right. It's common sense, which goes out the window. They're always worrying about being so progressive. They'll change shit that doesn't need changing. I loved when they said to Trump, the fucking wall is medieval. And he goes, yeah, so's the wheel, but it's still working pretty good. I mean, I don't know if he came up with that. But... you know.
Can I pull in a super chat?
Yeah, super chat.
I'll give you two on heavy and then light. Corey Galabrath says, we are in a civil war right now. It is just that our side is being civil while the left loonies are attacking us. We are just letting it happen.
Well, that's not a war when one side's just letting it happen. When we start fighting back and pushing back and getting as ugly as they are, but then we're destroyed. If the people who still... There's only one truth out there, and I'm just calling it like I see it. People, well, why are you so right-wing? Right now, that's how I fucking see it. I'm sorry. Ocasio-Cortez, that's your big shining star. You can't point to one country where socialism fucking worked. Another common sense thing. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know how many, this capitalist system, you know how many people it had lifted out of poverty? It's the greatest form of government to ever happen to this planet. It's made people rich. And, I mean, this you can't point to anything that's even come close. And why are people coming from shitholes all over the world to live here if it's so racist and horseshit? Those are the questions that you need to ask Pelosi and fucking Chuck Schumer and Tim Kaine and fucking Adam Pencilneck. I want to punch his face Schiff. It is. It's common sense. Life's not that fucking complicated. And you black people out there, you better vote for Trump in 2020. He's done more for your fucking people as far as jobs go. Your people? Who am I? That sounded racist. Ross Perot, you guys are probably too young when he ran. And you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah. What do I mean, you people? Black people. See how it is around? Your generation is scared. I say it on stage just to get the people's attention. And you people, you black, and you broads, and the fucking place will get quiet. There's buzzwords if you know how to use them. Anyways.
I got one more.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Thomas Regan says, MAGA hot student staring down an Indian? Just another example of the Patriots beating the Chiefs.
Well said. Well said. I wish I came up that myself, God damn it.
You are correct, sir.
That's right. That was Tom Brady staring down Pat Mahomes. What a fraud that guy was. Never was in Vietnam. Actually did time in the brig. Went AWOL 4 times. Just a fucking phony. And you leftist cum guzzlers, you bought it hook, line, and sinker. Speaking of cum guzzling, Bryan Singer is back in the news. Who's that? You know who it is. The director. The Bohemian Rhapsody director, which I just watched that movie. It was very good. And by the way, the directors get way too much credit. Can I just say that? It's the writers that should get all the credit. You know how hard it is to sit down and write a movie or even a short story? Who can't go put the camera behind the fucking Indian guy and then put a... Honest to God. I think Hugh Beaumont proved that when he directed the last couple seasons of Leave It to Be. Still watching that show. But this guy, this creep, this pedophile, in my opinion, alleged pedophile, The Bohemian Rhapsody director Bryan Singer has been trailed by accusations of sexual misconduct for 20 years. Here, his alleged victims tell the stories. It was a big piece in The Atlantic. It was over 30 pages. I couldn't, after about the fifth sodomy story, I said, I don't know, but yeah, I'm sorry. It's like Bill Cosby. All these supposed victims of Bryan Singer, they all have the same story, so I'm leaning to it. When you're making these people, what people, Nick? The people that run the business, you know, the Irish and the Polish, when you're making them that kind of dough, you could shoot a baby on national TV and they'll be like, I don't know, he's doing some good work for us. Singer's most recent project debuted in November. Critics gave Bohemian Rhapsody, which chronicles the rise of the band Queen, lukewarm reviews, but it earned more than $50 million in its opening weekend. By the end of December, it brought in more than $700 million. So the people that run Hollywood go, he can fuck all the kids he wants. He's making us dough. The film's success should have been a triumph for Singer, proof of his enduring ability to give audiences what they want. In January, it won 2 Golden Globes, including the award for Best Drama. He tried to put his dick between the 2 Golden Globes. No, he didn't. He doesn't like girls. But Singer was conspicuously absent from the ceremony. His name went unmentioned in the acceptance speeches. I wonder why that is. He had been fired by 20th Century Fox in December of 2017 with less than 3 weeks of filming left. On December 7th, Pearl Harbor, 2017, 3 days after The Hollywood Reporter broke the news of Singer's firing, a Seattle man named Cesar Sanchez Guzman filed a lawsuit, sounds like every relief pitcher in the National League, filed a lawsuit against the director alleging that Singer had raped him in 2003 when Sanchez Guzman was 17 years old. The day after that, Deadline Hollywood published an interview with a former boyfriend of Singer's, Brett Tyler Skopik, in which Skopik described a lifestyle of drugs and orgies. You believe that? I do. No.
You're a wormy cocksucker, you know that?
According to multiple sources, Fox had no idea that Sanchez Guzman lawsuit was coming when the studio fired Singer. Yeah, right. Okay, right. Still, Sanchez Guzman's claims shouldn't have been much of a surprise almost from the moment his star began to rise. Singer, who is now 53, has been trailed by allegations of sexual misconduct. These allegations were so well known, listen to this, that 4,000 students, faculty members, and alumni at USC had signed a petition asking the school to take Singer's name off one of its programs, the Bryan Singer Division of Cinema and Media Studies. I've seen that statue in front of the school. He's boning a Cub Scout while eating a tuna sandwich, which the school did immediately after Sanchez Guzman filed his suit. We spent 12 months investigating various lawsuits. This is The Atlantic, a very left-wing magazine, and allegations against Singer. In total, we spoke with more than 50 sources, including 4 men who have never before told their stories to reporters. A man we'll call Eric told us that he was 17 in 1997 when he and Singer had sex at a party at the director's house. Another we'll call we'll call Andy, says he was only 15 that same year when he and Singer had sex in a Beverly Hills mansion. Both men say Singer, who was then in his early 30s, knew they were under 18 years of age, which is the age of consent in California. I'm surprised they even have a fucking age of consent in California.
Fucking quiz!
Oh, come on. There's no need of that. The accusations against Singer cover a spectrum. Some of the alleged victims say they were seduced by the director while underage. Others say they were raped. The victims were interviewed, told us these experiences left them psychologically damaged with substance abuse problems, depression, PTSD. The portrait of Singer that emerges is of a troubled man who surrounded himself with vulnerable teenage boys, many of them estranged from their families. Their accounts suggest that Singer didn't act alone. He was aided by friends and associates who brought him young men. Those are people who run Hollywood, folks. And he was abetted in a less direct way by an industry, that will be Hollywood, in which a record of producing hits confers immense power. In other words, what I just said, because he's making them so much dough, they look the other way. It's a fucking sewer. It really is. I'm glad I have a podcast and shit. And if they offer me a sitcom, I go, look, am I going to be boned in the ass? And they said, only in the pilot.
I wouldn't last out there. I almost moved there.
You wouldn't last out there. What are you talking about? You'd be a superstar. You'd have 10 pictures with Sony. You'd be limping to work, bleeding from the ass, but you'd be a superstar.
That's my point.
Many of the sources were interviewed insisted out of fear Many of the sources we interviewed insisted, out of fear of damaging their own career, that they withheld their names. Of course, blah, 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 blah. Singer himself wrote an Instagram post in October that read in part,
I don't know nothing about that.
he says, I have known for some time that there may be a negative article about me. They have contacted my friends, colleagues, and people I don't even know. In today's climate where people's careers are being harmed by mere accusations, I stick out because mine aren't accusations. They're actually the truth. No, he says mere accusations. What these reporters are attempting to do is a reckless disregard for the truth, making assumptions that are fictional and irresponsible. Okay, maybe the reporters are doing that, but how about the victims that are talking to the reporters? Are they doing that? How fucking dare you?
You smug cocksucker. Fuck you.
Singer continues to enjoy the benefit of the doubt in Hollywood. Again, because people are money, greedy, hungry jerk-offs. This fall, Millennium Films signed Singer to direct Red Sonja, an adaptation of a sword and sorcery comic book. This is real Patton Oswalt nerd fucky shit. Patton Oswalt and his fans all hate the kids from Covington High School, but they'll back this guy to the hilt. Guarantee you Patton Oswalt is the first one in line to see this fucking alleged child rapist work. I might be wrong there. If I am, kiss my grits. Sorry for the strong language. An adaptation of a sword and sorcery comic book. Oh, my God. For a reported $10 million. Asked why Singer was hired despite the allegations against him, Millennium publicist said, I'm afraid the response is unavailable for comment. Get this. The protagonist of Red Sonja is a survivor of sexual assault. This guy's a creep. In the spring of 1997, and I guarantee you, I don't know this, but I guarantee you Bryan Singer was a sexually assault. I'm just guessing from the research that I've done. When Victor Valdovinos was in 7th grade, he showed up to a school one day to find a big-budget film production underway. Listen to this. This gets interesting. Filming took over Elliott Middle School in Altadena, northeast of L.A. Late one afternoon, after basketball practice, Valdovinos, stay with me, stopped in an empty restroom. While standing at a urinal, he says, he felt a presence behind him. He turned, and the ghost of Fred Gwynn, he turned and saw... He turned and saw a bespectacled man in his early 30s. It was Bryan Singer. He looked at Valdovinos over. Valdovinos remembers him saying, you're so good looking. What are you doing tomorrow? Maybe I could have somebody contact you about putting you in this movie. Through his attorney, Singer said that he did not know who Valdovinos was and denied that anything had happened between them. Yeah, he's just making this up. The film, which was based on Stephen King novellas, starred Ian McClellan and as Kurt Dusander, a former Nazi concentration camp commandant living in Southern California, decades removed from the war and trying to keep his past a secret. The other lead was a 14-year-old named Brad Renfro, cast as Todd Bowden. Do you see a pattern developing here? Dusander's neighbor. I'm just giving you the plot of the movie, who discovers the Nazi secrets and threatens to turn him over to the authorities. This is almost like a autobiographical about Singer. People know shit about him and threaten to turn, unless the old man tells him graphic detail about the atrocities he committed. One scene has Todd, this is a 14-year-old kid, taking a shower in his school gym, which triggers images of Jews in gas chambers. It does. That scene would lead to a series of lawsuits against Singer and the production. Listen to this. At least 5 plaintiffs, he's Bill Cosby, in my opinion. At least 5 plaintiffs, all minors between the ages of 14 and 17, were extras in the film. In essence, claimed that members of the crew had bullied them into stripping naked for the shower scene. One of the crew members later said he thought that there had been a screw-up the day of the shoot. This is a crew member. That only the adult extras were supposed to have been asked to appear naked, and that somehow the minor and adult extras have been mixed together. Now, come on. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office declined to press any criminal charges, of course. This is Valdovinos saying, I'm hanging out. All of a sudden, Brian comes in. He goes, hey, how are you? Real cheerful. And I'm like, hi. I can't remember his exact words, but he was kind of just saying, come back here. He kind of directs me. He kind of grabs me and takes us to the back area, which was kind of closed off. Like this is the whole locker room. Valdivino's gestures to suggest the space. They're doing their stuff over there, and I was back here in the towel with no shirt and no clothes on, sitting on one of the locker room benches. Brian's like, just hang out there. It's going to be all day. Don't worry. Singer left. Valdivino's waited for what seemed like hours. Eventually, he says, Singer came back and made small talk. How you doing? Do you need anything? Every time he had a chance, 3 times, he would go back there. He was always touching my chest. Finally, guilty! Finally, according to Valdivino, Singer reached through the towel flaps and grabbed my genitals and started masturbating it. The director also rubbed his front part on me, Valdivino alleges. He did it all with a smile. Valdivino says that Singer told him, you're so good looking, I really want to work with you. I have a nice Ferrari. I'm going to take care of you. Ugh, what the fuck?
You're a wormy cocksucker, you know that?
Valdivino said, I was appalled when I heard about the Ferrari. I'm a big fan of... No. I mean, this guy... And this... Folks, the article goes on for 30... There's a ton of other so-called alleged victims telling the same story. But again, the guy's making them billions. And that's how creepy and filthy Hollywood is. Valdivino said I was frozen, speechless. He came back to where I was in a locker room throughout the day to molest me. 3 sources confirmed that Singer did drive a Ferrari at the time, and we were able to verify Valdivino's description of how the set was arranged and of certain people he said he met there. Valdivino says that although he did end up being used as an extra in a number of takes, he couldn't ever bring himself to watch Apt Pupil. His brother Edgar did, though, and when Edgar told Valdivino that he didn't appear on screen, Valdivino replied, that dude was like touching on me. His brother's now deceased, by the way. By Valdivino's account, his life changed after the molestation. When he was 16, he got his girlfriend pregnant. They had a daughter. He said, I was trying to prove that I was a man. He had been an A and B student and a standout football prospect, but he stopped going to classes, was kicked off the team. He dropped out of school for 6 months, worked as a series of minimum wage jobs at fast food places. Valdivino's and the baby's mother argued. He was arrested after a neighbor reported a domestic disturbance. They broke up when their daughter was 6 months old. Valdivino's had other failed relationships. Years later, had an affair with a married woman, estranged from her husband, ended in catastrophe. An arrest and a year-long jail sentence for domestic battery, drug possession, and driving a car without the owner's permission. He lost one job after another. And he asked if his life would have been much different if he never encountered. But there's numerous stories just like this about this guy. The bottom line is just showing that Hollywood is a sewer. And again, do you think you're going to hear this on CNN? Have they ever interviewed him? Maybe I missed it. Savannah Guthrie fucking interview some of his people, because obviously he's not going to come on camera himself. Yet he's still working. Yet if you say something sexist on the set of Big Bang Theory, your career could be ruined. This is the fucking world we live in. This is it. I mean, you say something racial, say something racial on the set or something overly sexual to an actress, your fucking name is dirt. So compare this to what happened to Louis, and there's gradations of what's kind of creepy and whatnot, but guys still making movies. The piece went on for 35 pages or something. I was like, fucking, ay. I'll do one more story just to show you, the fucking whole world is a sewer, especially New York City. I lived in New York. It really is one of the greatest places on the planet, but when people say it's the greatest city in the world, I don't know. Not when de Blasio's running it. It was when Giuliani was running it. But I always talk to people like they came to New York for a day and like, how could you live there? And that's how I felt when I first showed up. But it's getting worse under de Blasio. Subway riders demanding answers as city homeless continue taking over train cars. As temperatures plunge, some subway riders say they're seeing more and more homeless people seeking shelter inside subway cars. This winter, commuters say the problem has gotten so bad they're left with no seats to. Why should you get a seat? You're only paying taxes that make the fucking trains run. Why should you get a seat? It's all the people who can't handle their own shit. Here's a local story that appeared about the subways here in New York City.
Of an entire subway car into their home, filling it with bags, boxes, and clothes on the floor. In another, benches being used as beds. Edwin Rivera says it's why he has trouble finding a seat on the 2 train from 149th Street and 3rd Avenue in the Bronx to his job near Columbus Circle.
At 5:30 in the morning, you get in the car, there's somebody sleeping there. 2, 3, 4 persons sleeping in different cars. The smell is terrible. Sometimes they defecate on themselves, and that's you have to leave that car.
Samuel.
People have to laugh that live in fucking Michigan, Ohio, and they really have to Oklahoma and go, why would you ever? And you know what the answer to that is? Most New York, we have, why? Because we have Broadway here. We have museums.
You ever get to encounter via singers or preachers on the trains?
Have I what?
Have you ever gotten to encounter all of these singers and preachers on the train?
Of course. Yeah.
That's one of the staples. I love them.
Okay.
They go around begging you and kind of slightly intimidating you.
Yeah, they don't even get on the plane. They can't even get on. The mariachi guys can't get on now. There's too much fucking feces and shit. There's nowhere to sit and put their instruments. Yeah, I lived in Queens. I used to take the train into the city every night to do comedy and back home and shit. I lived right at the last stop, the N train. And good name for it. What? No. Yes, but you feel like such a New Yorker. I love taking the subway, you know, until ISIS started their shit. And after 9/11, I'm like, no, this is perfect. Nobody checks book bags and whatnot. But the point being is, this is a city run by an ultra-liberal jerk-off who also is going to probably run in 2020. And this is what it's like. The potholes are big enough for families to fucking live in. They have bike lanes that are fucking up. They even called them out on The View. One of the broads on The View, one of those women on The View said to de Blasio, this fucking 19 bike lane, it causes, it's a nightmare under this fucking guy. It's just a nightmare. And what was the last thing that they did? What did he announce recently? We did a story about it. Healthcare for all or whatever? Yeah,
healthcare for all.
Healthcare for all. And how are they going to get that? I forget how they were going to get the money from that. Oh, that's right, the taxpayers. But honest to God, if show business wasn't in New York, there's no way I'd be fucking living here. Guys, you know, Rush Limbaugh, Rush picked up and moved just because of the taxes and whatnot. But yes, it's interesting. I understand that you come from boring places, and it is fun to see shit going on in the street and all that. That part of it's true, but when it starts interfering with you trying to get to work on the subway because homeless people are shitting all over themselves, and it's turning into San Francisco. What do they have in common? Oh, that's right, ultra-liberal jerk-offs run the city. But New York, you know what? New Yorkers get what they deserve. They voted this scumbag in, and he'll probably run in 2020. What a group of fucking... This is going to say so much this next election. It's going to say so much about where we are. And it'll be a turning point. If the fucking Dems win, bye-bye. This country's going to unravel so quick. And they're trying to say it's unraveling now under fucking Trump. The economy's never been better, and I'm tired of talking, folks. I've had enough. Yeah.
Got a super chat for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So... Adelis Shuttlesworth says, Nick, serious question. Did you ever have a director do anything like that to you while on The Sopranos?
Yes, I don't like to talk about it. It wasn't a director. It was Adi Bucco. He came up and he put his hands down my... Hold on. No, I didn't. What?
I got one more from Roots Calhoun.
Can I finish answering now? I want to give the guy's money's worth. Roots Calhoun. Roots Calhoun is a great running back in the 40s. Crazy Leg. It was Roots Calhoun and Crazy Legs Hirsch. No, as far as The Sopranos, I directed myself. I thought Tim Van Patten was directing, who was great. Nobody paid attention to me. I go up to Tim. I see that it was setting up for my scene. I go, Tim. I introduce myself. I go, I'm playing the cop. Do you want me to fight my way through and try to time it? And he goes, yeah, that's good. We did it twice, and it worked beautifully. But no one's ever touched. There was a female director that wanted to touch my tits. I'd let her. Go ahead.
We got Roots Calhoun saying love you, Vidigo POS.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what Vidigo is. I know what POS means.
Slow it down. I know POS is piece of shit, but what? Dago?
I love you, comma, Vidigo POS. DEGO. Vidigo.
I don't know what. We might as well have an 11-year-old Asian girl when Ryan takes these.
You say it.
What, Jace? Go ahead.
It's Vidigo POS, right?
What is it? Oh,
I don't know. He just pointed the mic at me
all
and said,
right.
"You
This-
say it." And I
this
don't know
show's
what that
going
means.
downhill. I have to pee and I'm very hungry. All right, that is it. Look, again, thank you, guys, so much for tuning in. We do it live. I am leaving for LA tomorrow afternoon. Okay, and that means no show tomorrow, no show Monday because I get back Monday night. Excuse me. So we'll throw something up on Patreon or whatever, right? Jace, we got stuff. We got plenty of stuff. Got 20 minutes of Jason whipping Ryan with his belt in my garage. We have Ryan hanging naked from. Anyhow, yeah. So next time I talk, you'll be on Tuesday. But remember to check me out on Rogan Friday morning and the Dave Rubin Show also on the following Monday. Please check that out. And I'll see you guys at the Comedy Palace in San Diego on Friday night and the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club on Sunday night. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. Remember, you think it, I will say it. You're very welcome. Take care of yourselves.